Good morning everybody, it's Jeanette here from My Cottage Crafts. Today I'm doing my second design team project for Beebeecraft for this month. In my design team package I received a bundle of lovely ephemera pieces. They consist of windows and doors, a little bit of furniture. There's quite a few, there's several, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 packs in there. I do go through that in my design team package video, so I won't go through all that now. I have chosen one out of the pack to use today in this tutorial, and that is this lovely door here. And what I'm just making thank you note cards. So this is a tea-stained piece of card, and it doesn't open or anything, it's just a piece of card, and I've got a tea-stained envelope here as well. So I'm just going to situate that and have a look, make sure it's the right size for my card. And the size is approximately 5 3/4 by 4 inches. And so that is a good size for this piece of card. The next thing I'm going to do is just sew around on my sewing machine a rough stitch, just to give it a little bit of interest. So I'll go and do that. Okay, so I've done that in a contrasting colour, and as you can see, it's higgledy-piggledy, and I've done that on purpose. I've just mixed up the bobbin thread and the top thread, the tension of them, just to give it a very haphazard kind of cottagey look. It doesn't have to be neat and prim and tidy like that. And the next thing I've got is some cheesecloth. I'm not sure if that's going to be big enough. It might be. I will have to trim that edge off first. So I'll just... Sometimes on the edges you get that rolled effect, and I don't want to have to deal with that, so I'm just cutting that off like that. And I might just cut this in half as well. This is just normal cheesecloth. Okay, and then I will layer it back up like that. I'm going to use, what glue am I using at the moment? Art glitter glue. So I'm just going to put some in the center first, just to hold my cheesecloth in place. I want to, fairly high on the card. I'm not too worried about the bottom here. And I'm just going to make sure that's stuck like that, and then I will just come in and put a bit of glue there and give it a little bit of a scrunch, because I don't really want it sitting too flat. I want it to have a little bit of body, and it doesn't have to go too far out of the side of the card either. Just let me move my envelope. So just a little bit of a scrunch to add some texture and body to it. Like that. You can trim it where you want it. Okay, and then this will go over that. But first, because that's a picture which is great for adding to pages in journals and things like that, I need it to be a little bit heavier than that though. So I need to find a Is that wide enough? It's not quite wide enough. Okay, I just need to find a piece of card or thick paper or something to put behind it. I've used what I had before. I wonder if I could just use one of those. That might work. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to use a piece of tea-stained card and glue it to that. Yep. I want to have a bit of a border. Let's move it up now. I've made a mess. Don't want all glue marks all over it. So I want to have a little bit of a border around my image. So let's just cut that sticky part off that I've made a mess with. So there we go. And then I'm just going to cut around it, just leaving a bit of a border. Doesn't have to be too perfect if you don't want it to be, but if you do, of course, take your time. Okay, there we go. I hope everybody's keeping well and enjoying getting a bit of crafting in wherever you are in the world. Let's get some of this glue off my fingers. It's suddenly spring here, even though it's before spring. It always happens. We get our spring a little bit earlier. Just a couple of weeks, things start flowering, like the jasmine. It starts flowering a couple of weeks before spring. And the weather's warming up nicely. Not too much, though, which is good. There we go. I'm thinking people in the Northern Hemisphere are looking forward to their weather cooling down a bit now. Okay, so now I'm going to glue that onto there like that. I want it fairly close to the top. This was just an index type of card. Using a good amount of glue actually, because it's got to go through, seep through the cheesecloth as well. So just placing it like that and then trying to get it fairly central and straight. You want your door straight, like that. Let's try to get that. Let's see. I just give it a bit of a roll to help. Okay, that's fine. I'll give that a little bit, and then if I need to just pop a bit of glue under the edge, I can do that. The next thing, I'm going to be using a lovely polka dot fabric that I found thrifting not too long ago. I've just ripped a couple of strips off, and that's going down the bottom here. And what I'm looking for, I'll just cut that end piece off. I'm looking for about 2.5 lengths of the width. So 1, 2, and about there. And that will give us a nice amount for a ruffle, because it's a fine fabric. If you were using a thicker fabric, you wouldn't need quite so much. Okay, so now I'm putting... How am I going to have that go? Just get that there like that. Okay. I'm once again, quite generous in the amount that I'm putting on here. Okay, you can see how much being quite generous with that wet glue. And I'm just going to start from one side, and I'm just leaving a bit hanging over the edge like that, and then I'm just going to pinch and bring the fabric across, press it down a bit, and then pinch it and bring it across. Try to keep it fairly straight as you do this, and then press it down a bit. Sometimes it might stick to your fingers and come up, but just go back and organize it. All right, and then keep doing that all the way across. And then just stop and press it. You might end up with a little bit more than what you need. Each time it's a little bit different. And that's all right. You can just trim it off. It's better to have a little bit more fabric than not enough. Okay, now I'm just going to put a little bit more glue on that end, like that, and just make sure there's a nice little, gather in on that end bit there, and then go back to the front, the beginning, and drag it in a bit as well, like that. There we go. Now I can cut this little bit of excess off. I'm not going to cut it too close just yet. Just like that. And then pinch it in like that and like that. And have a look. That looks fairly good. If there's too much fraying going on, just give it a little trim of the frayed bits. No doubt they'll fray again when they're ready. It's that kind of fabric. It's not meant to last a lifetime, this project. It's just a thank you note card that I'm making. So there we go. Just give it another press, and then like that. Now I'm going to use some of the beautiful ribbon trim that I received from Beebeecraft as well. And I'm just going to cut a piece to go across like that. I'll start with that. It's a really pretty one. I got a whole bag full, like I said before. That is, you can see all of those in my design team package. Okay, we'll just trim the end a bit and just pull it a little bit like that. And that should be nice. And I chose a ribbon like this, yellow flowers and blue flowers. So I've chose something with yellow and blue in the trim. Now I'm getting a stronger glue for this one. Just get that off the end. And this one dries pretty quick. There's time to adjust things, especially fabric on fabric. I'll tell you what, it's Helmar's Quick Dry Adhesive that I'm using. And I'm just, it's the bottom of the bottle. It's a bit hard to get out. There we go. I've got a bit of a flow going. And plus with the weather being still not that hot, the glue comes out slower. Putting that on there. like that. Let me just make sure that's straight-ish, and then press it down like that. Okay. Just add a little bit to the bottom of that card there. I can put that one away. There we go. Next thing I'm going to add is just a little flower. A couple of design team packages ago, I received these lovely little flower charms. They're like that. They're really sweet. It's a chiffon fabric. There's like 3 dangled flowers in each. What I'm going to do, I love taking them apart. I'm just going to take the bottom one off, and it's a layered, it's got 2 flowers in there, okay? So a little bit of glue between the flowers, and then fold it like that. Tiny little bit inside to hold it closed, like that, perhaps. There's a little bit of staining on this from the metal, but that's okay. And then a blob of glue on that side, and then I'm going to decide where I'd like to put it, and I think I'll put it just there on my note card. Let's just get that going and just hold that down. There. Like that. My fingers are a bit sticky. Like that. Okay. So I've just put it there like that. And I'll put a link in the description box below to this item and the other items from Beebeecraft that I'm using today. And I've got out a pack of 4mm glass beads. These are also from Beebeecraft, and they're clear. And I'm just going to choose a colour that I think will go nicely with this particular note card, and probably the yellow. I think the yellow might be nice on this one. I could go yellow or gold, but I think I'll go yellow. So just 3 little beads is all I need. And luckily my glue's blobbing up. A blob of glue there, like that. And then I'm just going to pop my glass beads on that glue. And position them like that. And this is a very simple note card. It's something nice and pleasant for people to receive, but it doesn't take a huge amount of time to do. I've got a couple of stickles here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of stickles onto some of these flowers, like that and like that. Might put a little bit there, like that. Like that. And then mix it with a bit of this, I'm thinking. Just so it's not too dark, hopefully. like that, and leave that one there. And then I could also just maybe pepper a little bit of this clearer glitter around like that. It's just so it catches the light. I think that will be pretty. Like that. And that one is called Faded Frosted Lace, and that one is called Mercury Glass. So there we go. A very easy little thank you note card that I've made using the lovely images from Beebeecraft and other items from Beebeecraft as well. I hope you've enjoyed that. I've made a couple more as well. I'll quickly show you. They're drying at the moment. Actually, just let me put a cloth down so that you can see them a bit better. There we go. That might make it a little bit easier to see. So there's that one there. There's that one there. There's that one there. And that one there. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this easy tutorial, and if you're interested in any of these items from Beebeecraft, I'll put a link to them in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching today, and take care everybody. Bye.